Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Kevin with Yerkit Racing. Today we're going to be going over a few projects we got in the shop. Been pretty busy lately with a couple of different things, and some cool content be coming up soon on it. Just want to give you guys kind of an overview on what we've been working on. So, first thing, we picked up this new bass tracker, new to me bass tracker. It's a 93 model. Has a little 9.9 on the back, little Evinrude. It's a pretty clean boat. Carpet's in good shape. Needs to be cleaned up. I still haven't cleaned the carpet yet, but the floors are solid. Carpet's in pretty good condition. No real rips or anything that I see. Even the seats are pretty decent. Like, they need to be cleaned, but they're again pretty mint for old 93 seats. The boat runs good now. We had to do quite a bit of work to it with some new fuel lines. None of the accessory wiring worked, but we have the bilge pump working, the aerator pump. The lights are working. Pretty much everything is doing what it's supposed to now, so happy with where we're at on it. Might be a little cold nature. We'll see if we can get it to start. There you go. I'm not going to run it long. I don't have the water hooked up, so I don't want to burn the water pump up, but that's that. The one thing we ended up doing so far, didn't really get it on camera, just trying to get it knocked out so I can go fishing on this thing, but put a better trolling motor up here than what was there before. This is one I picked up from my buddy John off of a project. If y'all look back on the channel, when I helped him fix the boat, he ended up hooking me up with the Minn Kota power drive. So that's pretty cool. Waiting on a pigtail harness for that. It's a V-groove. This style won't work with it, so that should be here the next day or two. We'll get that cleaned up. The one other thing we have to do is work on the trailer. If you look down here, the guy that had it before me put it in the salt water, and the rust it just ate up the back of the trailer. So we got to cut it off probably somewhere, up in here, and rebuild the back section of it. So we'll be working on that here pretty soon. Got to figure out how we're going to support the back of the boat. Probably just a jack, and underneath the bottom of the boat we'll put a board, kind of jack everything up together. Should be to make it work. So that's that. We'll be fishing soon on that, hopefully. Next thing we got here, we picked this little go-kart up for my kids for Christmas. They've been having a ball on it. It's just a little 6.5 horsepower Coleman go-kart. And believe it or not, with this thing with the two kids in it, it pretty much rips. I'm a little bit scared to have them in it sometimes. My daughter, one of them's 8, one's 4, and she's like me. She got a heavy foot, so she likes to try to slide it around curves and stuff. And I try to tell her to ease up till she got the hang of it. But anyway, they're having a blast on it. Hopefully, it'll last them a long time. Don't really have a lot of experience with the Colemans, but feel like it should be okay. Take you back here, show you a project that we're going to be working on here shortly. If you can see it coming up back there, it's a I think it's a Candy 150, something to that effect. It's a go-kart. I picked it up a long time ago. We're talking probably 6-7 years ago now. Picked it up, did a bunch of work to it. It had this little GY6 150 engine in it, and the engine ran good. It was a dog when we got it. I did a lot of work to it. I ported the head, shaved it down some to build the compression up, bigger carburetor, bigger cam, switched it over, had it running on methanol. By the time we did all that, this thing would do donuts as big as I am. It would do donuts with me in it. So it was pretty fun. Had a good time with it. Wanted something a little bit more and was ready to start playing around with the welders and stuff. All I had at the time was a flux core MIG welder, and you can see I did not do the best job, but we kind of cut off this whole section right here out of a four-wheeler and built the tube structure around it and grafted in there. Everything's rusted. All I used was like a white Krylon paint, just trying to protect it from the rust, and obviously that did not work. So anyway, that'll need a lot of cleaning up, but we made these tube extension bars in here that kind of spaced it down, gave it about a 5-inch lift. We'll have to match that to the front side up here and do something with that. For now, I'll probably end up just running this engine setup. We've had it started in here before, so I know the engine did run when we parked it. Hopefully it'll still be running now. It's a 200 It's just a 200cc 5-speed engine out of a Honda 4-wheeler, old like 80-something Honda 4-wheeler. Yeah, we'll probably end up just running something like that for now, and then eventually, though, I want to put a bigger engine in it. So pretty cool little project. Keep an eye out for that on the channel coming up. And these are the tires here we're planning on trying to run on it. We'll have to get some adapters made for the wheels, but they'll be pretty beefy. Shouldn't have any problems getting stuck anywhere. So we'll walk back up here. I'll show you guys around the inside the garage what we got going on. I've been working on a few things in here too. We still waiting on some parts for the car to come in for that rear mount radiator setup in it. But we're getting closer on it. I just had the radiator show up the other day. So you can see that guy here. Came with the shroud and the fans and everything. I'm going to have to cut the ends off like down here and weld some end fittings to it. And we should be good to go there. This project here, you'll be seeing this on the channel here very shortly. Just got a little bit more work to get done on it. Weld these tubes over to these brackets, but essentially what it is, we got my buddy wanted a fishing rod holder for the back of his truck. It's a 2018 F-150 Coyote truck, so we're gonna finish that up. Plan is to make some brackets here with pins where the rods can be either straight up vertical or angled back over the tailgate. On the car over here for the rear mount radiator setup, we're still working on the plumbing. You can see we got a couple of tubes made to run underneath the car. We also have our block adapters up here that we showed you before. Trying to get these fittings to come off and make this turn back here in such a short distance has proven to be a real challenge. I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but look at the size of this thing compared to like the valve cover. It's huge. So these fittings are really no joke. It's dash 16 on this back 90, and then these are both, like the two smaller ones are dash 12. And by the time you get those in there and the fittings on the other side, it's only like a little bit of hose between them. I just don't think it's enough movement or enough flex in the system when the engine rocks to not be a problem. So most likely what I'm going to have to do is end up building a manifold off of the top two and then a separate manifold off of the bottom two, and just have those come out to the side and then 90 back. So after I get this other project over here done for the boat rod holder deal, once I get the fishing rod holder deal done, I'm going to be starting to work on this manifold setup for the front to get the pipe to turn back. Now that we got our radiator in, we kind of taken a look at it the other day, and we'll have a video on all this stuff coming out real soon, but we ended up deciding to cut some more out of the trunk. I don't know if you paid attention to the last video we had on the rear mount radiator setup or not, but you know, we had an idea about standing it up back here, but we really want to save that center exit exhaust if at all possible. So our plan now is to lay the radiator more flat and have the exhaust kind of blowing more down to the ground. Because of that, we're having to cut more out of it, which is fine. We talked about possibly going over to a fuel cell, and that's what we decided to do. So I will be cutting this part out here too. If you can see, it already started to cut. But this bottom part from here down will be gone. Fuel tank will come out. That'll give us more air underneath the car in that area to kind of pick up for the fan. I think that'll be a better setup that way. And also, we're going to switch, since we're going to a fuel cell, I'll be going to an external fuel pump, and we'll be running, you know, E85 is my plan at some point here, so I'll go ahead and run PTFE lines up. I think the return line is already PTFE in this car, and I think I just had a section of rubber line, so I made the supply line with that last time to keep from having to buy it twice since it was only on gas. But anyway, so that's the plan there. I ordered a fuel cell already and have it in, but eBay unfortunately has sent me the wrong one. I ordered a silver one, and as you can see, this thing is red. I mean, it's a nice looking tank. Not unhappy with the quality of it. Everything looks pretty cool, but the bad part is I really didn't want to put a red one in there. If I have to, it's not the end of the world, but not the most excited about it. So I have contacted eBay and the seller eBay is saying the seller is responsible for, you know, the return and the shipping because they sent me the wrong color. Well, the shipper doesn't want to do it. They're not agreeing with it. eBay has the money back guarantee. However, there's not really a button that I can find anywhere up there to push for the money back guarantee. So if you guys know something that I'm missing, I've tried to contact their customer support, like customer service, and email them and everything else, and I can't get a response back. So if you guys are aware of a way to actually get through to that eBay money back guarantee and get it started, let me know in the comments, because it would surely help me. But otherwise, we might end up having to run this red one. But anyway, that's about it for the shop update. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. If you are interested in any of these projects, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can follow us along. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. God bless.
Alright guys, I really hope you're enjoying the video. Just want to take a second to invite you over to Yurkit Racing Spread Shop, where you can find all sorts of merchandise. You name it, it's probably in there. So go over, find you something you like, take a picture of it in action, and send it over to us at yurkit_offroad@yahoo.com. I think it'd be a really cool thing if we could include some of these pictures at the end of our videos and share it with the rest of the community. Every order you place on this site is greatly appreciated, and it really goes a long ways to make sure that we're able to continue to bring you the content just like this.